Mama put me on.
Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Pashane, lovely to meet you, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. In today's video, I'll be going through my experience on HRT. I have made some notes, so I will be looking down from time to time. Just in case you are coming across my video for the first time, I'm just going to do a little summary of what has happened to me. Basically in 2022 I had an oophorectomy, and what that is that it's a removal of both my ovaries. This was due to the fact that I had ovarian cysts in both ovaries, and they were recurring and they were making me quite ill, and therefore I had to remove them. As much as I made the decision to remove my ovaries, I didn't make it lightly and I didn't make it without thought. Long story short, when I went for my checkup after both surgeries in 2022, I then found out that actually having the removal was a good thing, because had I waited any longer to get my surgery done, I would have developed cancer, and that would have been another story, which would mean that I wouldn't be here doing this video, just because of how it progresses in the reproductive area. So basically, after the surgery in 2022, I had some struggles. A big part of those struggles was anxiety. I was experiencing a lot of anxiety, and that caused a concern because I was already on anxiety medication. So this was anxiety on top of my anxiety, as well as an inability to sleep. So when I did go back to my gynae at that point in time, well, he still is my gynae even now, but when I did go back to him, he then prescribed hormone replacement therapy. So the one that I'm on is called trisequence, and it is opposed estrogen. So what that means is that it is a mixture of estrogen and progesterone in a 28-day pack, which basically mimics a woman's typical cycle. So it mimics all 4 phases, and that also means that I do have a period and I have a regular cycle. So I will have a period every single month. Although I don't have ovaries, my body still mimics ovulation, and it mimics all those other things, and the blood is real because I do still have a uterus. But if you have any questions about that, please ask them below. I won't go into depth about that here in this video today. Today in this video, what I do want to cover is just my journey of being on HRT. So I have been on HRT now for just over 2 years. I did take a little bit of a break, which was a big blunder on my part, but my break only lasted for like 3 months. I could have done better for myself, but I didn't. Anyways, I am back, and I'm back on HRT. I categorize this video as symptoms and side effects. Side effects meaning the things that I'm suffering from now that I no longer have ovaries, and then the symptoms will be more so the things that are as a result of me being a perimenopausal woman. And what that means is that yes, I am like your average 50-year-old woman. I am going through menopause. It's actually known as perimenopause, which is the period where your body basically tapers off of having a period. And for me, obviously early onset because of my oophorectomy, which then makes me it automatically made me a menopausal woman. However, now that I am on HRT, then I become perimenopausal. So it's a whole complex thing, and it's quite difficult to understand, and I'm not going to deal with that in this video either. I'm just dealing with my experience on being on HRT. So I've basically been on HRT for just under 3 years. I've been on HRT now. So I'm going to start off with the symptoms that I've experienced. So symptoms of being perimenopausal, I'll put it that way. So the symptoms that I have experienced, even with being on my hormone replacement therapy, I experience hot flushes. I experience severe PMS throughout the month. My basal metabolic temperature is just higher than it usually was, and it's just remained there, which makes my experience of life very different. I can get hot quite easily, and I can start sweating quite easily, and hot flashes, they're not the ones. They're really not the ones. They're not the 2s or the 3s or the 4s. They are the nothing. Those are basically the 3 symptoms. Yes, I thought I should elaborate in the fact that I had experiencing severe PMS, is that through every phase of my cycle, I am experiencing a lot of shift in my mood, a lot of shift in my appetite, a lot of shift in my ability to sleep and how long I can sleep. So I drift basically between insomnia and a normal sleep pattern and exhaustion, which is quite normal for most women. However, these weren't things that I experienced before removing my ovaries. I'd say before then I didn't have severe PMS. I did have period pains, but PMS was quite, yeah, it was a distant relative, whereas now it's my day-to-day. Yeah, so that kind of wraps up the symptoms. I do also know that I am officially in the decade of life as a woman where everything about your cycle becomes amplified. So this is something that commonly happens to women that are nearing their 30s or in their 30s. And also scientifically, now that there's been more research done about perimenopause and menopause, the period of late 20s until about 40s, early 40s, that is typically the period of perimenopause. So that is the period of time when everything is extreme in a sense, when it's coming into relation with your cycle as a woman. Everything is amplified and a lot of things do happen. I want to cover what I have categorized now as side effects. Side effects of having had sick ovaries and now having removed the sick ovaries. So one of the first things that I noticed before having my 2 big surgeries in 2022 was after I cut my hair, I had patches of baldness basically all over my head. That was basically a result of my hormones. And then after having my ovaries removed, I got into this short hairstyle, like a pixie cut, and sort of grew my hair out in this style. So I basically made peace with the fact that I was going to keep my hair short. However, I have come across 2 issues now. One, my hair is still quite patchy in a lot of areas, and it's almost like it varies because I do cut my hair quite often. Basically, the hair that I had on my head in 2024 probably doesn't even exist right now on my head in 2025. Well, majority of it doesn't exist. So yeah, that has been the experience, and yeah, so basically my hair's patchy. And then the second one is a very interesting one, is that my hair texture has completely changed. I can no longer manipulate my hair the way a black girl can manipulate their hair. So I no longer know which mode of manipulation I'm meant to take, because currently, as I sit in front of you, it might not be evident because I've kind of learned how to tame my hair to a certain extent, but I have 2 different textures on my head. And in front, basically the part that you can see is the part that I am able to manipulate, and it's the part that responds to typical methods of hair manipulation that a black girl would do. And then the rest of my head is yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure out what the rest of my head is, but my texture has definitely changed, which makes it very difficult for me to maintain a pixie cut. I'll go and do my hair at the hair salon. It's even difficult for them to get my hair to be straight, basically. Even having put relaxer in and things like that, it's not quite working out for me anymore. At first I thought I changed the texture of my hair because of the products I was using, and man, was I wrong. So yeah.
This fly is driving me insane.
So basically that's the other thing that has happened. So those are the two things. The third side effect that is like lingering on since having had my major surgery in 2022 is anxiety. Currently now it hasn't been as severe, just because I've taken measures to try and sort of like minimize it. Right after my surgery, I knew that my anxiety was more hormonal than it was a psychiatric issue, but now I'm in a position where I don't know whether it's hormonal or psychiatric. So basically for the last 3 or so months I experienced a thing where I would experience anxiety for like a week throughout my cycle, and then it would go away. I didn't know whether that was hormonal or whether that was psychiatric, and between my general practitioner and my psychiatrist, I've tried to manage it as best as I can. Right now I would say I'm in a better place this month than I have been in the last 3 months. As I film this video now, it's March, and I am in a better place just because I've made tweaks on both the hormonal side and both the psychiatric side. So for those of you who don't know, I am a girly that is depressed and anxious, so I am on an antidepressant which also treats anxiety as well, and so I spoke to my psychiatrist about what I was experiencing, and he subsequently increased my dosage of my antidepressant, which is meant to assist me with my anxiety as well. And then also with my general practitioner, who is aware of my condition and is more well informed about what's going on with my body now, and I've been seeing her basically since 2022. With her, she's basically suggested extra supplements that I could add on top of taking HRT that can make my experience a little bit better. Yeah, which brings me to another segment of this video. Basically what I've done to try and help ease whatever symptoms or side effects that might come up as a result of being a perimenopausal woman. One of those things that I have done is I've actually added 2 menopause supplements to my regime. So every day there's 2 menopause supplements that I do take, and also I've been trying to incorporate a menopause tea. I will show you guys said supplements and the tea, just so that you can look at it and know. I'm not saying go and buy it, but yeah, that's what has helped me so far. So as much as menopause is a strong word, these are the supplements that I'm taking. So this was the first one that I started with, and it's called Menopause, and it's a menopause support supplement, and this is what it looks like. I hope you guys can see it, but I'll add a picture as well if it's not too visible in this. So I've been taking this for 2 months, and so then this is the second month that I've been towards the end of the second month that I've been taking this supplement, and I have seen improvements. I've seen quite good improvements in terms of my anxiety being better. And then the other one is this IPS Menopause, and it says to assist the female body in managing the biological changes associated with aging. So for me, it's not necessarily associated with aging, but it is a consequence of the actions of my gynecologist. So this is the other one that I've been taking. Okay, I don't know how many of you know, but then our ovaries basically provide hormones that also support bone health. So as a result of being on basically synthetic hormones, I'm not receiving sort of like enough of those good vibes to help my bones. So this is a recent addition to my supplements. It's CalMag and Boron, but anyway, it says it supports bone health, so I've started taking this as well, just because now my knees crack. Unprovoked, my knees will crack regardless of whether I'm walking or bending them. My knees will crack, and it is audible for everyone that is close enough to me. So because of that, then I've started taking the Calmeg, and I don't know how well it's working yet, but because my mom is also at the age of menopause, and yeah, towards the end of perimenopause, my mom is also at that age. She also benefits from these types of supplements, which is the Calmeg and the other menopause supplement. However, hers is not as severe as mine, just because for her it's due to age, whereas for me it's due to the things that happened in theater. And then the other thing that I do use is this rooibos tea blend. It says Menopause. As we can see, that is the theme of the things that I am ingesting on a daily basis, and it says with added black cohosh nosh, yeah, and it basically has raspberry leaf, which is also a type of tea that I was using in 2021 when I was trying to treat the cysts and things like that. So yeah, I'll basically make iced tea with this tea, and I also add that into my routine, my daily routine. And those are the things that I've basically tried to do in order to sort of help myself without breaking the bank. Now my new cycle, my new 28-day cycle, my new forced 28-day cycle, my new clockwork 28-day cycle. So basically about that is that, as I mentioned earlier on in the video as well, is that my sleep cycles vary. So I go from insomnia to oversleeping to sleeping just enough, which is quite irritating because it doesn't go according to the productivity that I want to achieve in every week. And also it's not typically the same all the time. So another thing is the pain that I'll experience during ovulation, before my period, the week after my period, during my period. There's a lot of pain, and then there's also times where I will have nausea, a headache, and I'll have like period pains and hot flashes at the same time for like a prolonged period of time, for like 3 hours in a day, or like 6 hours during a day. I'll experience that, which can be quite tough. And then the mood swings go on basically throughout the month, and the headaches as well, they come on and off. However, since I've started incorporating these supplements in the tea, it's been much better, and the experience has been way better than it had been in the previous months. So with that, I don't have any complaints. There is another part which I want to discuss in this video, which is my quality of life. So definitely my quality of life has dipped, just because now I'm having to do things that a person my age wouldn't normally do, and which makes it a little bit uncomfortable and difficult. Even as a person who is on medical aid, I am blessed to be on medical aid, thank the Lord, that I am able to have that. But now because I am on HRT now I have to do a pap smear every single year, which was typically not, actually twice every single year, which is typically not something that's normal for a person to do at my age. And in case you are wondering how old I am, I'm still 29, but yeah. And then the other thing now, that recently when I had my visit with my GP, she's told me that now since I have been on HRT for more than 2 years, I now have to go for yearly mammograms until I am 45. So this is all nice because, okay, it's not nice, it's annoying because it really does it changes your life. Like, as I was saying, quality of life, even with like the hot flashes, those change my experience of life and everything. Like, it's kind of lowered my quality of life, but I'm not here to complain about it. I'm just here to bring awareness about it. and to talk about it as well, just because I feel like a lot of people don't really know what it means when you are on hormone replacement therapy. They don't know what it means to actually be going through menopause or perimenopause, and I think that it's time that men and women learn what's actually going on with the female body, and that's the biggest reason why I am making this video. I feel like this is a relatable topic even for people who still have their ovaries. I feel like it's a relatable topic just because these aren't issues for old women, these are issues for women, period. So basically, with me having to do a mammogram and me having to do 2 pap smears in a year, as much as the medical aid is there, they are full of complaints, and I have now spent probably like a total of 3 days on the phone with medical aid explaining that I need to do a mammogram. And because now I am underage for a person who's meant to be doing a mammogram, I'm getting a lot of back and forth with the medical aid people where I'm trying to get an authorization and I can't necessarily get an authorization because they think they know more than me. My GP has been so helpful, bless her soul. Dr. Jessamine is the love of my life, my future, my wife, my everything. She's just been such an important factor in me sort of finding ways to help myself deal with the perimenopause and stuff like that. Because of her help, she's then been able to write a recommendation for me for the medical aid to actually put me on, to basically give me perks to give me more perks, to give me the perks of what a typically 50-year-old woman would be getting from a medical aid. So she's basically written that for me so that I'm able to get that. However, it is very difficult for that to be registered by people who are unaware of what is going on in my body, even though I am typically a young girl. So it's been very difficult in terms of now I've had to speak to people that are unaware of these conditions, and they're basically telling me, you are wrong for wanting to get this procedure done, or you are wrong for wanting to get this scan done, whereas I'm not wrong. And it's the responsible thing for me to do, because as some of you may know, there are some studies that have pointed towards women who take HRT being the ones who are more susceptible to breast cancer and to other cancers as well. Well, let me say reproductive cancers. And as a result, then I have to be more careful, because I am literally ingesting hormone replacement therapy every single day of my life. And yeah, that puts me at risk. And obviously then that means that I have to be more careful. So with me trying to be more careful, I'm experiencing a resistance from the medical aid as well, which is quite annoying. But anyway, I think that's it for this video. I feel like I have talked your ears off, and I hope that you find this video helpful, or at least informative. And to some others, I hope that you find this video relatable, and that you know that sort of these hormonal struggles are not just for older women, and also for those older women that are experiencing depression and anxiety. Like, you're not crazy. You are actually going through something. Your body's actually going through something, and there is help out there. It's just very difficult to get the help, because chances are you will be referred to a psychiatrist before you are referred to a gynecologist. And also the sad thing about it is that there are not many gynecologists who specialize in menopause or perimenopause. There's still much research to be done about the female body and hormones. Please also let me know down below if any of you have had any of these experiences that I've spoken about, because these symptoms and the things that I am going through, they're not just exclusive to perimenopause and menopause, and they're not just exclusive to women over the age of 45. It goes on a whole spectrum, and I'm basically making it my duty to speak about it and to learn more about it and to also share more of my experience with it. I don't have the answers on what would work for each person, but I feel like I can be an example of getting on a path that enables you to firstly speak up for yourself when you are seeing a doctor or a specialist, number one, and so secondly to go for the second opinion, go for the third opinion, just because there's only a select few doctors in this world and specialists that actually care to take the time to sit with you and have a conversation with you about what you're going through without them trying to throw psychiatric drugs at you, or without them just trying to say, yeah, you're going through menopause, just deal with it. It's almost like there's a spectrum of how bad perimenopause and menopause can be. There's a spectrum, and some people are on the extreme side and some people are on the less severe side, where it's like maybe an occasional hot flash, maybe occasional mood swings, and they go away after a while. Whereas with other people, it's something that actually changes their quality of life and impacts it to a level where even the people around them are impacted by it. But because obviously we're not dealing with the root and what's actually going on, the woman is categorized as she's crazy, she's controlling, she has a short temper, all of these things, whereas sometimes it's not exactly what's happening. This is the reason why I made this video, and the reason why I will continue to even make more videos that are similar to this, just because I understand that my experience might seem unique to a lot of people, but it probably isn't unique, and there aren't enough conversations that I had about this. So if you also do have any of these symptoms, please comment them down below and let's speak about them. And if you don't want to speak about them on YouTube where everyone can see your comment, you are more than likely welcome to find me on Instagram and DM me at Shane_SA, and we can continue the conversation over there. I'm putting myself out here and giving you guys all the tea on my life, not because I'm happy about what's happening to me, but because I understand that a lot of people experience a lot of things and they have no way to talk about it, and they might feel ashamed of what they're going through, and they might feel alone in what they're going through. So as I've mentioned in quite a few of my videos that are of this nature, you're not alone. I'm here with you, and we can get through this. So if you did like this video and you'd like to see more videos similar to this, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. And also I will see you in my next video. You can see I am trying to bring the consistency up on this channel. Please bear with me with my technical difficulties. There are some few things that I still have to re-figure out, but basically I've made this video to say to people that you're not alone. This is me opening an invitation to you to say we can have a dialogue if you want to about these types of issues. And this is also me taking a stand to say that, you know what, sometimes your mom isn't crazy and she isn't losing her mind. She is just going through a lot of harsh hormonal changes and there isn't enough support. I really do hope that as I make these videos, I'm able to attract more people that are interested in this topic and probably more knowledgeable about spheres of this topic as well, because they include psychology, they include psychiatry, and they include medicine and general medicine as well. They include reproductive health as well as hormonal, I don't know, just knowledge on hormones. I know there is a term for that. That's it from me for this video for today. Bye.
Mama put me on. Mama put me